Luffy and Shanks' bond. Luffy and Shanks' fates have been bonded together since way back in chapter 1 of the One Piece story. Although Luffy badly wanted to be a part of Shanks' crew at a young age, Shanks shuts his ass down. I think Shanks has learned from the dangers of his time as an apprentice on the Pirate King's ship that the seas are much too treacherous for a boy that young. Not only does Shanks become the pirate role model Luffy always wanted, but Shanks bets his arm on him being the future of the pirate world. He even bestowed Luffy with his prized possession to seal the deal, vowing that he should one day return it once he's become a great pirate. And thus, Luffy vowed to lead his own pirate crew, a crew that would grow so great they would surpass Shanks and the red-haired pirates one day. Why it could not happen. There are a few reasons why people say an actual fight between Luffy and Shanks may not be necessary, or that there may not even be a chance for that to happen. One of the big reasons usually given is the fact that Shanks has been foreshadowed to have a different showdown that we should also see sometime in the final saga against none other than Blackbeard. Almost every time we see one on the move in the story, we see the other one, so it's obvious that these two will be linked until the moment they eventually have their showdown. Some of the last few times we've seen Shanks, he's even been looking for Blackbeard or intel on him. Many people believe that Blackbeard would actually be the one to kill Shanks in this eventual fight, which would give Luffy even more motivation for his ultimate showdown with Blackbeard himself. But I don't know if Shanks can die before he meets Luffy again, and I think Blackbeard kidnapping Kobe and now Garp, along with his involvement with Ace, will be more than enough to fuel the fire when it comes to him meeting with Luffy again post-time skip. Another theory that has been rampant over the last few years is that Luffy and Shanks won't have a straight-up fight, but instead their crews will have a Davy back fight. While I'm not closing the door on this also happening, I think it's really important that they have an actual one-on-one duel, and here's why. Why it needs to happen. Shanks is super fond of Luffy, so much so that he mentions Luffy to his longtime rival, another Yonko and the world's strongest man, and his former crewmate in the Pirate King's crew, so it's clear he has love for him. And this isn't symbolized any more than in his sacrifice at the beginning of the story. Luffy ate the fruit that Shanks went out of his way to steal from a CP9 government ship. This fruit turned out to be the Nika Nika fruit that may have once been used by Joy Boy during the Void Century. Now, do we know for sure that Shanks knew what this fruit was? No. But what we do know is that who's who's in CP9 and on that ship, didn't even understand why they were attacking the ship for the fruit to begin with. While Shanks was an apprentice to the Pirate King, he didn't actually go to Laugh-Tale to see the One Piece, but he did have a huge change of heart when it came to pirating with the goal of claiming the One Piece after Roger came back from Laugh-Tale and told him something shortly before he was executed. Shanks has climbed the tallest heights of the pirate world as a Yonko, all while not going after the One Piece. But as soon as he sees Luffy become a Yonko and his poster has the Nika form, he says he's ready to go after the One Piece. Roger was too early to claim the One Piece, but that time may be coming very soon. I don't know if Shanks would have eaten that fruit himself, but clearly he knew it would be very important. So it seems like that time for them to come together is going to be right around the corner. From Luffy's perspective, back in Punk Hazard, Luffy said that he was going to take down all the Yonko, one by one, and Shanks would be the last one. He beat Kaido and was part of the alliance that beat Big Mom, so it's possible that Blackbeard may be next, but I'm sure with the changing story, that could change as well. Especially since the Yonko are different now than they were at that part of the story. During the Straw Hat Grand Fleet cover story, we see that Bartolomeo was wreaking havoc in a town somewhere within Shanks' territory, and putting up Luffy's flag. It's been revealed in some of the recent Egghead chapters that a lot of Shanks' greater fleet are weaker people that he protects, so it would make sense if these islands in his territory were similar. That being said, Shanks has made it clear that he has a bone to pick with Bartolomeo, so if he beats him to a pulp, which is very likely, it'll cause an automatic conflict with him and Luffy. All of that aside, we also have the issue of the Straw Hat. Luffy can return it to Shanks once he becomes a great pirate, which it seems is now basically. Given the giant straw hat that's in Marijois, it seems like Luffy's straw hat will have a bit more significance than just being his treasure or a piece of headwear that him, Roger, and Shanks all wore. I don't think Shanks will actually want the hat back, but I do think Luffy will have to prove himself as a great pirate.